video I'm going to take you through how to access and search the library databases, and this is important to know for doing research, particularly for doing scholarly research, so looking for sources that are scholarly or peer-reviewed. So you want to start at the UT website's homepage, which is where I am, and over in this quick links box is where you can click on the library link and it will take you to the library's page. So once you're here, you're going to want to scroll down just a little bit and you're going to go down to the eSearch. Click on that, and normally I'm already logged in. If you're not already logged in, it will prompt you to log in with your ID and your password. I believe it's your Spartan's domain password. If you have trouble logging in, you will have to go see IT. Okay, so once you've logged in and you're at this page, which is the database page, if you know the name of the database for which you're searching, you can click on something here. So for example, I know I want the Oxford English Dictionary. I'm going to click on O, and now I can click on that and open it up. If you don't know the name of the database for which you're searching, you can scroll through and read all these little synopses of the different databases. There are a lot. You can also do a Control or Command F and do particular word searches like science or biology or etc. etc. Also over here, I'll go to an actual database in just a second, but over here under resources, you do have what are called subject guides, and these will take you to specific areas or what we call disciplines. So you can click on that, click on something for which you're researching, and it will tell you or give you more information about how to do research in that particular discipline, right? Doing research in education. This is how you find books. These are the different databases, etc., etc., etc. So that's available to you. Okay, so we're going to go back to the databases, and some databases that you're going to want to really know besides the Oxford English Dictionary, which is the dictionary you should always be using, is the database JSTOR. It's the only J, and it stands for Journal Storage, and this is one of the most important and comprehensive databases. It houses hundreds of different journals, and it's going to be very useful for you, and you really need to become familiar with navigating this particular database. So you want to click on that, and it's going to open up the interface for JSTOR itself. So once that's open, I'm also going to go ahead, well, I'll do that in just a second. I'm always going to encourage you to do an advanced search. So the main difference between what I'm currently being offered, which is what we might call a simple search, and an advanced search, is you can tell that the simple search has one field box and that's it. It's not allowing me to search by anything else. So if you click on advanced search, it's going to offer me a lot more things that can help me in the research process. So for example, I get multiple field boxes, and I can add multiple, even more field boxes if I needed to for some reason. I can be more specific about, where I want it to search in the actual text. If I have a specific date range, all those types of things. This down here is going to be very important to you in JSTOR. JSTOR is a unique database in that pretty much everything in it is scholarly. So one primary difference between JSTOR and a lot of the other databases is that you don't have to select scholarly or peer-reviewed, which is something you will see again and again as a selection in other databases. However, when you're in JSTOR, you do need to make sure that you click on articles. That's the only thing you want to search for. You don't want any of these other things because they don't count. So at least for kind of foundational scholarly research. So once you do that, then you can start plugging in your words. For example, if I wanted to do research on dystopia and religion, I would pop in my search terms, and then it's going to give me a lot of things. It's given me 24 pages. My search terms were very general and very large, so the best way to do research is to always start with informal research, so starting on something like Google, looking at Wikipedia to better understand the conversations about your topics. It is better to start general and then get more and more specific, or you can start really specific and then get more and more general and see, okay, these search terms didn't give me any results. Let me try something else. Okay, this one gave me too many. Let me try something else. So dystopia and religion are a topic, but it's an enormous topic. So I might, after understanding more specifically what I would want to write about on dystopia and religion, then add additional keywords to narrow that down even further. Once you pick a source that you want to look at, please always download the PDF. This is going to be the easiest way for you to print, as well as to save to your laptop if you're on a laptop or if you have a flash drive or something like that. So download the PDF. It's always going to ask you this one time every time you're logged in, and it will open, I hope. Okay. Just had to change my pop-up settings, and then it's going to ask me again. And then once it loads, hopefully it will load. While that's loading, I'm actually going to go back to the database page because I want to open up another database, and then I'll go back to that thing that I just downloaded. Another one that's going to be really common for you is right up here at the top is called Academic Search Complete, so I'm going to go ahead and open up that database as well. I'm also going to open up Access World News, which can sometimes be a really useful database. But first I'm going to go ahead and find this. So this was the journal article that I downloaded from JSTOR, and this is something that I would kind of skim it very quickly. You can do Command or Control F to search for particular words, and they'll find them for you if that makes it easier. But once you realize that you do want a source, I do encourage you to print it out. And this is the difference between if you have a PDF source or an HTML source, because that will tell you whether or not your source needs to be cited as an electronic source or as a periodical. So this would in fact be cited as a periodical source because we have pagination. It was published originally in print, and then it was later uploaded to the website. Okay, I'm going to close that, and I'm going to take us back to those other databases that I opened. This is Academic Search Complete. You can see that the interface looks slightly different from JSTOR. All the different databases will have slightly different interface looks, but they'll have very similar options. So here you can see I've got multiple field boxes. I've got the date range similar to that. I've got these same options here. Actually, there's quite a few more than in JSTOR. Now, when you're in databases that are not JSTOR, you oftentimes have to click full text because some databases will provide you citations of sources, but they might not give you the text. And this is helpful if you're doing a thesis or an honors project or a capstone essay where you want your research to be exhaustive. But otherwise, don't worry about it. You want to be able to access the text as quickly as possible. in a typical class like ours. And here's right below that is the place where you select the scholarly peer-reviewed journals. I encourage you to search with this clicked and then without it clicked, and try different search terms and then see if you get anything useful or not. A database like Access World News, this is a news database, and it's pretty much like what it's called. It provides you news articles from newspapers from all over the world. And you can search by continent. You can get as specific as just Florida. I want the whole world. You can be very explicit about exactly what you want to search. And I do use this from time to time. It has also broken up, this is something new that Access World News is doing, which is breaking up things into topics. So you can use this if you're interested in knowing more about, oh, what are people saying about science and health in the news. So you can click on that and it will give you more things about, or topics about which people are talking and that are coming, appearing in the news again and again. So back to the database page, and that's pretty much how you access things and search through things. Research is not a quick or short process. It's a time-consuming, sometimes very frustrating process to find the particular things you're looking for. But just remember that before you go to the library databases, I encourage you to use something like Google, do the informal research first, because you need to better understand your topics or have a foundational understanding of your topic before you search more complex, high-level sources like the ones we get in scholarly research. So play around with the databases, and we will continue to talk about these throughout the semester, and I wish you luck in your research endeavors.